Hey guys, welcome to the Soulscast. If you're here, then you are a fan of the Souls series, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. You know, and you found this maybe by searching. I don't know. I don't know how you found it. Since there's only probably two of you, you probably saw it on Instagram, but that's fine. You're here because you like the Souls games and you want to hear me talk about the Souls games. And that's why it's called the Soulscast, because it's just me, one person, talking about the Souls games. If you listened last week, and if you read some of my descriptions and things like that, like description on YouTube and maybe on Instagram, I kind of teased that this episode is going to be a pretty big one, and you're going to want to listen to it. And that's true. And I'll tell you why. Because it's not quite solo this week. I'm not doing this by myself. I wanted to have a very special guest with me, and that very special guest is none other than my beautiful wife, Sandra. So, say hi to the nice people.
Hi.
Alright, but you can leave now.
Bye.
And that was it. No.
That was fun.
You know what? I wanted to, I've had this idea for a little bit, and she said she was game to get on and talk. And this is going to sound weird because this is on a podcast that's dedicated strictly to talking about Souls and how much I love them. She does not like the games, with an exception. So I thought it'd be interesting to get what I'd like to call an outsider's perspective on everything. So that's kind of what we're doing today. But before we jump into all that, if you want to say something, you can just jump right in. Don't be afraid.
I don't want to say anything.
Talk, and you could talk a little louder too. If the sound quality isn't perfect on this one, we're sharing one microphone that's clipped to the collar of my shirt, and she's just real close to me because we like to do things like
Ghetto.
that. Yeah, we like to be ghetto like that.
Ghetto fabulous.
We live on the mean streets of
Derry.
a city. Okay, I wasn't gonna say it, but
Can we cut that out?
Nobody come find us.
Can
please.
you beep it? Just have a beep.
I don't know how to do that actually. You probably do, but
radio edit.
Things are gonna get derailed very fast, I think. Before we get into the actual episode, I like to plug myself and all that. So, my name's Shane. You guys know that, hopefully. And if you're a new listener, welcome. My name is Shane. You can find me on Instagram. My username is Kalameet, Kalameet. On Twitter, I go by the same name, but you need to replace that L with a 1. So K-A-1-A-M-E-E-T, because the 1 kind of looks like an L, you know. And on YouTube, which is most likely where you're listening / watching this right now, just search Shane Norton. I have a YouTube account, obviously. It's mostly boss battles from various games that I play. Yeah, I have a YouTube account. If you guys didn't know, search Shane Norton. It's a bad name for my YouTube account, but I made it a long time ago.
Now they're really gonna find this.
That's okay. You know what? We'll bake cookies. Come over. We'll watch something. My profile picture is a picture of a beer bottle. So that's where you can find me. Would you like to plug yourself?
No.
No? Not on Instagram, Twitter. You don't have YouTube. Well, you actually might have YouTube, but just to watch videos, not
Nobody
to like.
wants to see pictures of me and my 3-year-old be posted everywhere.
Okay, so my wife's gonna be very mysterious. Maybe I'll should I post links in the YouTube? You know, whatever.
I don't need to be included in this.
Okay, she's too cool for school.
Definitely.
Okay, what have I been playing? I'm still playing through Dark Souls, even though I haven't played it in like a week. I just beat Titan Souls, I think on Friday. I'm very happy about because that was one of the most frustrating games I've ever played in my entire life. So I just beat that. I'm playing. I still stop laughing. Jesus, what am I playing?
Nothing.
My wife and I here, we started a couple games that we haven't touched in weeks. We still have a game going on, Evil Within, which again haven't played in a long time. and Little Big Planet, which we haven't played in a long time.
No, it's too hard. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, it's very hard. I think you need to talk a little louder still. Or get closer to the mic. I'm just saying.
I have to sit on your lap.
That's fine. Lots of losing trains of thought here. I just started The Binding of Isaac Rebirth last night on the PS4, and that's a very, very fun game. Look for some boss battles to be posted at some point in the next week or so from that game, and that might be it. I feel like there's another game I started playing, or I'm gonna start playing. Well, Dark Souls 3 I'm gonna start playing in a couple weeks, but I guess I think that's all I'm playing. I don't know. I'm just rambling. And my wife. Did I say your name, or did I say my wife?
I'm your wife.
My wife's
name is my wife.
Oh yeah. my wife Norton.
Mhm.
Her name is Sandra. I'll start calling her by her name instead of just my wife. And Sandra's not playing anything.
I'm playing the game of life.
Yeah, exactly.
And motherhood.
Yep. Okay, so this is a great 7.5 rambling bits of nonsense, minus the minute I have to cut out for things we won't talk about here.
Hilariousness. You're missing out.
Audacity, what the fuck is going on here?
Just keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking. Audacity might be messing up. It must be recording because it has a little recording things. I'm gonna say if we do like 30 minutes of this and it stops recording at 7 minutes, I'm not gonna be happy. Okay, let's get into it. I want to talk to Sandra about the Souls series. She's been with me. We've been together 6 years, married for.
They don't care about that.
She's been with me for 6 years, and she's been with me since I started playing the Souls games, and she's always been in the background, so sleeping for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the bat, I'm gonna hand the mic over to you.
Nope.
Figuratively, of course, it's still attached to me, and I want you to tell the nice people what your general perspective is on the games, coming from a person that doesn't like the games and has seen them from afar, kind of. And I just want to preface this once more by saying she does like video games and she plays video games, so she's not like someone that just hates video games. She likes them. She likes them. You play them on your TV with a controller in a video game system, so she likes them. Just not this particular series of games. So, and don't burp into the microphone.
He just died a lot, and that was really annoying to listen to the same sounds over and over and over again. My favorite being,
yeah, that was
every time he died.
That's the sound he makes. He crumples over.
Annoyed me to no end.
And this what she's talking about is mostly, at least Demon Souls. We lived in an apartment a few years ago where I would play at night,
and I would go to sleep,
and she would go to sleep.
It just annoyed me so much.
But it was the summertime. No, it wasn't the summertime, because I got it in the fall.
I have no idea when it was.
But we had the bed out in like the extra room.
All I remember is the noise.
So she doesn't like the noise at any rate. So what do you think of the games overall? Not counting Bloodborne. Let's just stick to Demon Souls and then Dark Souls 1 and 2.
I don't really have any thoughts on them.
You hate them though, or you don't like them?
I don't like them.
Okay.
Mainly.
Is it just because I was always playing them and you always saw me playing them and you always heard me playing them? So it's just
repetitiveness of you always dying.
Yeah. No, that gets annoying for me even too.
And just seeing the same thing over and over and over again.
Okay.
That was a long time ago, so I don't really remember why.
No, I think that's fair, because it's not a game that, it's not a genre of games that you're really into, and it is very repetitive in more than just dying, because you die, but then you have to replay the same areas over and over and over again. And you have to kill the same enemies over and over and over again. And I just remember
every time I would play it to pick it up, when you were like pausing it for some reason. I was always fighting the same skeletons in that one spot.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. There was
like 4 of them, and I could kill one and then just die.
That was a very hard area.
And over again.
That was the first area of the Shrine of Storms in Demon Souls 4-1.
And I never knew which button did what.
Those skeletons are bastards. They're pretty hard. That's an area that still gives me a pretty hard time, at least at the beginning, because you start at the archstone, and then there's one skeleton like way up there, and like not too far from you. So you kill him, and then you get up to like a hill area, and I want to say there's another one that like rolls down the hill. They roll super fast, and they have like scimitars or something like that. So they roll super fast, and then if you kill that one, I think you go up the hill. There's another one that shoots arrows, and there's another one at the top of the hill. And there's a bunch more scattered throughout the level. But, yeah, the buttons can be complicated because it's kind of a complex game, and there's a lot you can do with the weapons, regular attacks, heavy attacks, rolling attacks. They all have different animations. They all serve slightly different purposes. So to just have never played them and just pick it up to play for 5 minutes, it's almost impossible. It's a game you need to sit down from the beginning and really
fall asleep to
while you're playing. Is the best strategy that I typically use.
I can tell with all the deaths.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sort of glad it doesn't have a death counter. On the other hand,
that would be sad for you.
Well, a bit of a reference. The game Titan Souls that I just mentioned, has nothing to do with the Souls series. It's just a similarly named game. You just fight big bosses, and it's one-shot kills. So you get hit once you die. One hit kills the boss. It's kind of a short game. I think it keeps track of your deaths and all that. So I played it for about 6.5 hours, and I had like 380 deaths. And you can't really compare that to the Souls games, but in a short game like that, I had that many deaths. I mean, if we're talking Demon Souls through Bloodborne, it's got to be, I don't know.
I feel like you're bad at looking for things, too.
I'm horrible.
So, part of the reason why I hate the game is probably from watching you play it. Because you don't look enough.
That's a good point.
You just go.
I'm
a searcher of all items and all things to be found.
She's a good explorer in video games. She can usually find hidden stuff and find secrets. I am bad at that, and I sometimes lose patience for meticulously exploring a certain area. So eventually, and especially if it's an area that I've like died in a bunch, eventually I just want to like get through it as fast as possible.
And I try to find everything I can, so I don't ever have to go back to that area again.
True. So if you've watched me play it and you hated the way I play it, she doesn't even like watching me play Super Mario Brothers.
No.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is a game that we play together on a semi-consistent basis.
And I get so mad at you.
Because I just fly through the levels as fast as possible.
That's not how you do it.
And she sits there and collects every coin, and it's like, speed up a little bit, come on.
Well, when I play with you, I need all those free lives.
Oh.
Burn.
Wow. That was... I don't know what to say. God damn it. She's lying anyway, because I'm better.
Come on. I'm not talking Mario. I don't want to embarrass you in front of your friends.
This isn't the Mario cast. You were playing Mario probably before I was.
Well, I was born before you.
She's 2 years older.
I'm 22.
The big 2-2, exactly. I'm only actually 14, so it's a little bit weird. I'm just kidding. Nobody call the cops, please. No, I'm drinking alcohol. That means I'm definitely over 21.
That means nothing.
I did not drink alcohol until I was 21. I was a good boy. Mm-hmm. And that's not sarcasm. That's absolutely true. I'm 28 right now, so don't worry, everybody. I just outed your age. Alright, we're getting off track a little bit.
A little bit, a lot of it.
That's okay. I figured that would happen. This is a loose episode. This is like a fun episode. So, yeah, I feel like the Soulscast can be a little rigid at times. Maybe that's not even the right word, but it's just... I really like to have fun, and I like to be funny and humorous in everyday life. When I'm talking Souls, my more serious side comes out, and that was true on the regular Soulscast with me and Adam. We're so focused on talking about something that we love so dearly that the humor doesn't always come through. So this is going to be an episode where there's probably a lot of really silly stuff going on. Wine and whiskey will help that too, obviously. And those two are not mixed together, by the way. That would not be good. So that's where my wife, Sandra, if you guys are just listening at the 16-minute mark for some reason, that's kind of her thoughts on the series. She's been watching me play them since Demon Souls. So this was, again, I bought it back in 2010, I believe, like October 2010. So from then until now, she's been a background disliker of the Souls series, and that's fine because I don't love her any less because of that. But like I said at the top, I thought this would be interesting to have a non-Souls fan perspective, because any interactions I have with people talking about the Souls series, it's people that love the games, and I assume anyone listening to this is someone that loves the games. So it's nice to get the other side of the coin. Do you have anything else you'd like to add about just in general the games? Do you have a favorite or least favorite? Do you know the difference between the games?
My favorite is Bloodborne.
Well, that is true. We're gonna get to Bloodborne in a minute. Don't you worry. Between the first three, like Demons, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 2.
I can't tell them all apart, no.
Now, is that because they all just look similar and they play similar and they're all in like similar settings, like
no,
a dark fantasy?
I kind of ignore them when you play them, so I don't know which one's which.
Okay, that's fair. I do want to talk about Bloodborne. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can talk about with like the original Souls games before we dive into Bloodborne, because Bloodborne would be an easier conversation because, spoiler alert, she loves Bloodborne. I'm just gonna say that right now. Okay, then, let's just dive into it. Bloodborne comes out in, what was it, March of last year? I don't remember exactly. I bought it the day it came out. I played it relentlessly. Played it. I got the Platinum Trophy. I played it. It was like the only game I played for a couple months straight. And why don't you tell it? Why did you even care at all to play it?
I don't remember. I just remember I had a week off of school. And maybe you would, what's his face? Adam had talked about doing the podcast.
We started the podcast, it must have been like April or something like that. I don't remember entirely, but it was decently early in the year. Bloodborne had probably just come out, or had came out like a month before or something like that.
All I remember is I was playing it when you guys first started.
Yeah.
Because I would sometimes be in the background swearing.
Yes, that's true. Yep.
Because it was so hard at first, because I never played any of those games.
That's another great perspective I can get to. Is someone that has never ever played any of the Souls games picks up Bloodborne and plays it, and for the most part is able to play it pretty well. So
I died a lot.
Well, that's okay.
A lot.
You're supposed to die a lot in those games. So Bloodborne, I beat, and Sandra decides.
I don't think I watched you play that game either.
No, I feel like you probably didn't. So I beat it, and then Sandra decides, out of the blue, that she wants to kind of try it. So we started a new game, and we played it together. We would like take turns. Either every time someone died, we'd hand the controller off, or if it was a particularly tough part, we'd hand the controller off. Something like that. So we started a new game. We played through the entire game together. Trading off every 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And we both had a very, very, very fun time playing it, and she loved it. Absolutely loved it. Despite the fact that she has not cared for the previous Souls games. Was it, you think, because it was just faster? I know you don't have much experience with the other Souls games, but it's kind of a slow game. It's very plodding. It's very meticulous. Bloodborne was made to be just faster. You can swing your weapons faster usually. The combat's faster. The dodge is faster.
Well, we know that I don't block.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm not a blocker.
She doesn't use shield. She doesn't block in any game she plays. Doesn't matter what it is.
Especially God of War.
Especially God of War 3 fighting Hades. No need to block any of his projectiles. Nope. So you're saying not blocking helped you get into Bloodborne, because Bloodborne, I think before the DLC, there's one shield, and it's basically like a joke.
I'd never use a shield, even if the game has a shield. I always opt for 2 weapons over a shield.
But that's interesting, because up until Bloodborne, basically, almost all the builds I had from Demons, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 2, I had a shield. And then Bloodborne came out, no shields, obviously. And after that, I started playing all the games without shields. I started a new Dark Souls 2 game after Bloodborne, where I was dual wielding, so I didn't use a shield. And my Dark Souls 1 game that I just started a few weeks ago, I'm going to just two-hand whatever weapon I decide to use. No shield again, so that's interesting to bring that up, because
I don't remember how the areas were in Dark Souls. I feel like they were mostly like foresty type areas.
Well, Dark Souls had one big forest area. Well, I can tell you quickly. It's either like little town, village area. There's a forest area. There's like a big giant city. There's like a library. There's one area that's like full of lava. So it's like that.
I feel like Bloodborne has more areas.
Bloodborne has,
From what I remember.
I don't know if it has more areas, but the areas overall are probably,
They're less forest.
yeah.
I don't like being in forest.
Well, I don't know. There's one big forest in
I remember
Bloodborne.
that. And I think you played through 95% of it.
No, I hate that area. Is it the Lost Woods? Man, I would bring up the wiki, but I think it might crash my computer. So my computer's a piece of garbage. Yeah, the big giant maze-like wooded area from Bloodborne. I hate that area, and so does Sandra. So I think I remember we went through it like real fast. Like I just try to run through as fast as possible. But so we started playing, and when we first started playing, you were not very good at it, and that's fine because when I first started playing Demon Souls, I almost quit because I wasn't good at it, and I couldn't get past the very first area. But you persevered. You were able to. When we first started, in the very first area, there's those big, giant, hulking enemies that can kill you in like 2 or 3 hits if you're not good. Well, not even not good if you don't know what you're doing. And she couldn't get past those guys at first, but towards the end, she was dodging them, doing the critical hits on them, just kicking their asses. So that was another interesting thing to see how your skills improved from.
Of course they improved.
Well, see, in a game like that, it's impossible. If you play through the whole thing, it's impossible for your skills not to improve. You start, and especially if it's your very first Souls game, like it was yours, basically, you start, and you have no idea what you're doing.
No.
You don't know what the buttons are. You don't know when to roll, when to dodge, when to do a strong attack, when to back off, all this stuff. And as you play, it just kind of ingrains itself in you. You just learn different scenarios because you'll fight one enemy that you can do a certain strategy for that will work on other enemies. So you can come up to another enemy that's similar to a different one, and you can then think.
I yelled a lot when big monsters came.
Yes. She's a yeller.
I'm a yeller and a swearer.
Yes, very, very trucker mouth, this one. That's where I learned all my swears from, personally. I was just an innocent schoolboy before I met her.
He's not joking.
That is a joke.
No, it's not.
I can swear with the best of them.
Perfect little angel.
I try to keep this podcast.
He has a halo on his head.
I actually do. It's just a copy of Halo just that I taped to my head. I get weird looks out in public sometimes, but it's not too bad.
My 3-year-old knows more swears than you.
She didn't write a swear list when she was young.
Give her time.
Inside joke, right? Okay, what were we talking about? So I'd say you adapted to Bloodborne pretty quickly, and it speaks to 2 things. It speaks to how different Bloodborne is. Bloodborne is the most accommodating to new players in all of the Souls games.
Yeah, because I still have no desire to play any of the Souls games.
Exactly. She does not want to she played through and loved Bloodborne, and she's not like, oh well, hey, let's play Dark Souls now. Nope. Wants no part of it. Would you ever replay Bloodborne?
Yeah. I think we tried it at one point, but I had too much school stuff, so we just kind of stopped.
I think when the DLC came out, we tried for one night, but we didn't get very far. That's okay, because the DLC,
I get sick of games really fast, too, when we play them for so long.
Yeah.
So often.
I know, that's true. The exception to that is probably Borderlands.
Yeah.
Well, or Army of Two.
And Army of Two.
Those are like our 2 games.
And all classic old school games. Except Donkey Kong. I get sick of Donkey Kong.
We get sick of Mario sometimes.
Sometimes.
I would play Mario right now if I had it. I don't have it.
Anyways.
Currently. Don't try to rush me.
I'm rushing you.
Don't try to rush me.
I want to watch Mockingjay Part 2.
It's only 10:11.
I know, and you're going to fall asleep on me in 25 minutes.
I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm not gonna fall asleep. All right. Look, we're at 26 minutes. We'll end this within 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
I think we're doing pretty good. I feel like I could talk for 4 hours about this. This is fun. I want to do more podcasts with you. What do you guys think about a husband and wife podcast team? Pretty good. Talking about all the current events of the day.
Oh, shut up.
That had nothing to do with video games, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, like, let's talk about Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to start the Kardashian... not the Kardashian cast. That's kind of boring. What can we call it? I don't know.
Continuing the solo Soulscast.
Okay. Let's move along. What did you like about Bloodborne?
He's fast with his weapons.
Yeah.
I like that.
The weaponry is very fast. There's a few slow weapons, but most of them are really... Especially, we started with the... Oh, Jesus. Was it the whip weapon? The threaded cane?
Yeah, I played with that throughout the whole game. I got to create my own character.
Yeah, this one likes to create characters, and she's pretty good at it, too. And that's another thing I usually don't have patience for. I always love thinking about, like, oh, I'm going to create my own character, it's going to be so cool. And then I get to it, and then I just skip through all of it.
I like that we played together.
Yeah, me too. That was a lot of fun. One of the most fun video game things.
I like that somebody was there to beat all the bosses for me.
Is this your way to segue into what I want to talk about?
Is that what you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about it at the end, yeah.
Oh.
So before we...
No, it's not. I take back. I hated that I had someone to help me fight all the bosses.
Let's pump the brakes a tiny bit. We will finish soon. Sound effects provided by... This girl is my producer, quite honestly.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, you and me both. Come on, where's that YouTube money? What'd you get for 9 subscribers? That's like $100 a month, right? It's something like that. Yeah, I edit the audio, and she does basically everything else. Like,
it's not the best. I mean,
making the movies that we put on YouTube, putting the sound into them, all that stuff.
There's so much stuff that I could do better, like keep a consistent font.
We'll work on font consistency. This is only episode 7. By the time we're at like episode 20, we'll have consistent fonts. We will.
I'm a perfectionist.
Well, we should have like a notepad of all like the specifications we use.
I don't need a fucking notepad for specifications. That's what my brain is for.
Jeez. Some of us don't have notepad brain.
I need Photoshop. That's what I need.
I know. I agree. Man, this thing's like melting my legs.
I'm sweating being
so fucking hot in here. Okay, so like specifically, did you like the graphics, the monsters, the like the level design, just the way the world looked, the weapons, like any of that kind of stuff, the story, if you even know the story?
I have no idea what the story is. I'm a guy fighting monsters, getting pissed off in different worlds, areas, arenas.
Areas, definitely not arenas.
They're not arenas?
No, not arenas.
Some of the monsters are cool. Like those ones that are in like, maybe it's like a sewer. You can't really see them because they're like crawling in the water.
Oh, like the really long guys?
Yeah.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you find a bunch of them if you like go down a really long ladder that leads to the area with that big giant pig. The pig that runs out of the tunnel that like scares the hell out of you the very first time you play it.
No, he doesn't scare me. Nope.
Okay, well then, quickly tell me, is there anything you didn't like about the game? Like, was the difficulty too much?
No.
Was the fact that a lot of the areas kind of looked very similar? Was that like a...
No, I think every area had a distinction between where you are.
I agree.
I never thought that, like, oh, this area looks exactly like that area. But when you played Dark Souls and Demon Souls, I thought that a lot.
That's very, very interesting because Bloodborne, and this isn't just a critique that I have, a lot of people I think have it.
Fuck their critique.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can swear. Swearing's fine.
Fuck their critique.
Swearing is fine. Bloodborne... There are some distinctions, and especially towards the end, the game gets a lot more open, but The first several areas, it's just a gothic town, and that's it.
But I can always tell where I am. That's why I never get lost.
You're very, very good with that kind of stuff.
And you would always go the wrong way, and I would always have to tell you, you're already here. I don't know, it just...
Yeah, when we play games together, even if they're not two-player games, if it's just we take turns, I'm not very good with directions or any of that kind of stuff. And she is. I'm basically not good at anything, and she helps me with all that stuff. But it's why we're such a great team. And we're such a great couple.
There was one area that really annoyed me.
Was it a snowy area? Did we go to Canehurst Castle?
No, it wasn't a snowy area.
Let's see. There was the school. In the Nightmare Frontier, there was there was all the beginning town areas.
No, it was closer towards the end.
The end.
I wish I could remember, but I don't know what any of those places are called. I don't know. We were outside.
Yep.
And we had to make our way into a building.
Yep.
And there was like, I don't know if it was a boss or just somebody super hard. He kind of like was really fast. I honestly don't think we beat him when we played. I think we just ran past him and he ran back to outside. And then you go to the area where there's a big boss. And that big boss has the witches. Are they called witches? There's like 4 of them or 3 of them, and they're up high.
They're up high?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm great at describing things.
No, I know what you're talking about. The boss was a big giant, like, mass of, like, dead bodies, and you had to run upstairs and kill all these...
Before that.
Yes, the area you run. Yeah, alright, so she's talking about before the one reborn boss battle. The run up to it, there's all these, like, skeleton enemies that shoot, like, blood at you, and for some reason we had a hell of a time killing the one reborn. Even though I had considered him maybe the easiest boss in the whole game besides the Witches of Hemwick. And we must have died like 20 times on that guy.
At least.
So ridiculous. But the run up to him is like this, it's like an outdoor area, and then there's all these big like giant skeleton enemies, and they shoot blood at you, and it's tough to just run past them all without taking damage, because, you know, we weren't going to like fight them, because that takes forever, especially when you...
Not just them too, but there's the big guys up there too, and maybe, were they dogs or something?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time since I played Bloodborne, besides the DLC.
Walkthrough in my head as I'm trying to talk about it. I wish that showed through. I wish it projected.
I know, sometimes I wish it was like, I almost wish we had a camera so we could like...
In my brain.
Oh, well, I guess a camera here wouldn't really matter any much. No. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so we're at 35 minutes, so we can wrap this up soon. Let's talk about the bosses, because you kind of... You sort of started going that way before.
I not beat a single boss without you.
She had trouble with some of the bosses.
All the bosses.
Cleric Beast and Father Gascoigne.
I almost.
She came very, very close to beating.
But I died so many times and got very impatient.
Yes, that's one thing about you. You can get impatient.
Me, my middle name is Impatient.
So, I ended up beating the bosses. She could have beat...
I ain't got time to sit here all night and fight one boss.
It gets very frustrating not being able to beat one boss that you just try for like an hour.
And get him down to like a
yeah.
centimeter of health.
Yeah, there was a few times where you got Cleric Beast and Father Gascoigne down to like 2 or 3 hits and they were dead. So,
was there a spider boss? I might have beat a spider type thing. Inside of the...
Rom?
No, not that one. That's the... You're talking about the outside.
That was in a lake. You had to jump down.
I'm talking about inside the, Are they caves? That go on forever or something?
Caves that go on forever.
They're not caves.
Well, let me think. You get Cleric Beast and then you get Father Gascoigne. Then after Father Gascoigne, I gotta try to remember Bloodborne now. Vicar Amelia is the next battle. And then after that, where do you go after that? My Bloodborne knowledge is just gone. What's the next boss?
In the dungeons.
Oh, the Chalice dungeons?
Yeah. That's what I was
I'm pretty
thinking.
sure you did beat one of
Caves, dungeons, things.
the... Okay, I'm pretty sure you did beat one of the bosses down there. The Loran Silver Beast, maybe?
I have no idea. Is this them? No.
Yeah, these are the, yeah, those are the Chalice Dungeon bosses.
No.
And that wasn't Undead Giant.
No.
Those guys are pretty easy.
No. No. No, maybe it was
Beast Possessed Soul. Yeah, he's not... You might have beat him. Yeah, so she might have beat Beast Possessed Soul. But...
Yeah. Oh, and is he considered a boss? Could I beat him?
Yeah, that's a boss. In the dungeons, he's a boss. He's a regular enemy too, but he's super easy as a boss there. Well, so we played through the whole game. I did end up beating all the bosses, so we get to the very end, and we choose to fight Garmin, the first hunter, because, you know, I want to fight all the bosses. And... Go ahead. Tell him.
I beat him on my first try.
Yep. She goes
There was
in.
lots of yelling and screaming on my half.
Yes. It was a very tense, like, 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
But she beat Garmin on her very first try, and I thought that was marvelous, wonderful, because he's, in the main game, not counting the DLC, I'd probably put Garmin in the top, like, 3 or 4 hardest boss battles, and she beat him her first try. That video is up on my YouTube channel under my Bloodborne videos. I have a video of me beating Garmin, but I wanted to put the video of her doing it because I thought it was just so amazing that she could just waltz in and beat him on her first try. And it's a very harrowing battle. I think you use probably all your blood vials. There's lots of dashing, lots of dodging, but it's a good battle. It was a good victory. And I know I was very proud of her, and I know she's very proud of it too. And that's like one of my lasting images of playing through Bloodborne together. It was very fun. So we're at just about 40 minutes. Well, 39.5. So I think we can probably
I waited until the end.
have some giant burps.
I tried to block it out.
That's fine. I'll either leave it or cut it. I'm not sure.
I need to know that your wife is a classy lady.
Class all the way right here. So I think we're just about done. I'm pretty happy the way this came out so far. I know it was a little rambly, it got off topic. I wanted to have someone that doesn't have experience with the Souls games talk about the Souls games. And I also wanted to just talk about our experience playing through Bloodborne together, because it was one of the most fun video game experiences that I've had. Generally, when we play games together, I find it very, very, very fun, because we played through a lot of games together. Most recently, we played through and beat Outlast together. That was fun, if not very, very scary, and very frustrating, because that game got very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it very fun to play games together, even if they're just one-player games. Either taking turns, or I play and you are like the coach.
The coach?
Yeah.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? Like Outlast, or a game where I play, but you like watch me and you'll like
yell at you when you don't do what I tell you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. So, before we leave, how excited are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Is that from something?
The world may never know.
What is that from?
I don't remember. The Truman Show.
Oh.
He says, "Oh, good morning. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night."
Oh, I've seen a tiny bit of that movie. Not much. Before we sign off here, what are your thoughts and feelings on Dark Souls 3? Super excited?
Yeah. Super. Like, pumped. I can't wait to sleep while you play. I'm hoping it'll be different. I don't really know much about it. I know that you keep telling me it's coming out, and I keep ignoring you.
And that's all you need to know.
Exactly.
It's coming out, and I'm ignoring you.
And I can't wait to sleep while you play at night.
You heard it here, folks. Wife will sleep while husband plays video
Falls
games.
asleep.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
I'm not going to fall asleep for Dark Souls 3.
You fall asleep for everything.
Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, so I think this is really fun, and maybe we can do it again someday. Maybe
Probably not.
Maybe not even for the solo Soulscast. I don't know exactly how the audio is going to sound. I can tell just by looking at my Audacity thing that shows you your voice it gets really high in a lot of spots. I think the mic is closer to my mouth than it usually is. Maybe if we can either figure out a better way to do this together or get a better microphone, we can start doing.
Don't you have more of these guys?
We can start. Well, I ordered it was a 3-pack.
I bet you they're inside that basket up there that you've never looked in.
But the only thing about that is we need to use 2 different laptops.
And we don't have to. Oh my god.
We do have 2. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do more collabs in the future. But if you're listening to this the day it comes out, thanks a lot. And
if you're not, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, basically, exactly. Go to hell.
Just kidding.
No, just kidding. It's okay if you don't listen to this the day it comes out. Final note, expect Dark Souls 3 podcast for at least the next few weeks. I've been thinking it came out in April. I swear that's what I read. That was the release date, but that might be like the UK release date or something. I don't know. But it comes out, I believe, on March 24th, which is in like 2 weeks. So next week's episode will be Dark Souls 3 related, and the week after that will be Dark Souls 3 related. So hunker down, buckle up for some Dark Souls 3 stuff in the next, at least the next probably 3 podcasts will be about it. And then we'll start mixing up again. So that's it. I'd like to thank Sandra again for stopping by and
you can thank me, alright.
offering. I'm cutting that. I'd like to thank. Yeah, this episode's gonna be like 20 minutes long.
Why do you have to cut everything I say?
Oh, cut everything
I'm
you
not.
say.
Aerosmith. What the fuck is his name?
Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Breaking news. I'm not married to Steven Tyler. Shit.
We're recorded at 45 minutes, but thanks to Steven Tyler, we'll be cutting it down to 15.
Enjoy 6 minutes of the solo Soulscast this week, everybody. Yes, my wife is drinking wine straight out of the bottle. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Would you like to say bye to the good people?
No.
Okay.
Don't deserve my goodbyes.
Yikes. Well, we lost our 2 viewers. Alright, tune in next week for more Dark... Well, not for more. Tune in next week for Dark Souls 3 stuff, and I'm gonna wave. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Perfect.